All right. We are recording. We are live. Hello, Facebook community. I hope you are all well, and thanks for joining us. Joining us once again, this time from the trail, our first on-trail event. You guys are out there. You're doing it right now. You're on the Pacific Crest Trail, and you find the time for little old me, jump online, and a little interview of Flapjack and Leapfrog, Will and Ben. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to dig into your experience thus far on the Pacific Crest Trail. But first, let me see if I can do this. First, I just want to share something with everybody. We're gonna share this real quick. This is how they're joining us from a motel. In what's the city that you guys are in?
Tehachapi.
Okay, I'll let you say that again.
Tehachapi.
Thank you. Excuse you. And and this is how you figured out how to go live streaming, Facebook Live. This is true hiker trash style to jump on and figure it out. We've got the Jetboil tripod camera stand kicking ass there. Well done. I appreciate your ingenuity on that task. That's awesome. All right, so no distraction there. We're gonna get back to business. Guys, you guys know how I like to just break the ice. So we're just gonna get to it. I've got a new segment for you guys, some blistering questions. You ready for blistering questions?
Yeah, you're up first.
All right, this is for both of you guys. Okay. All of these are for both of you guys. So, all right, you guys have been hiking in the desert. How is your butt chafing, and who has it worse?
I have not.
Easy enough to answer. Ben, are you doing anything about it?
Just trying not to be sweaty.
It's a real thing. You can't do that in the desert.
I've been wearing Sax, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Down the line to the Sax underwear. Is the pouch helping?
Yes.
All right. Appreciate you guys. All right. Number two, I know you both have a desire to be naked in nature. Have you been bare while backpacking, skivvyless against the skyline, or hiked totally exposed on the trail? And a follow-up, does the PCT celebrate the summer solstice as Hike Naked Day?
We haven't yet, but we will be celebrating the solstice.
Okay.
I did jump in the hot springs.
He did jump in the hot. Yeah, he did get in the hot springs naked.
Deep hot springs. That was nice.
I wouldn't have asked the question if I didn't already knew that you guys had naked nature time. All right. Awkward enough for everybody at home. All right. Next blistering question. Sand. Where is it stuck?
Toes.
Everywhere. The shoes, the socks. It doesn't come out.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think my toes have ever been this black and dirty on a trip before. So something special about that SoCal sand. It just gets in the toes.
Are you guys doing are you doing toe socks or the bedrock claw sock or anything?
I've been rocking 0.6 or darn tough socks. But even the sand gets in your shoes and it tears the socks up too.
Shorty gaiters or anything?
I do have gaiters. That doesn't help anymore because my shoes started separating between the bottom of the shoe and the insole. So the sand just comes in from the bottom now. So the gaiter doesn't help.
So I know a place we can a place that can send you new shoes.
I tried that. In this wonderful place didn't have my size. One employee bought the last pair of my size, so I had to buy some. I just got new shoes today, actually. I'm very excited about them. They have lots of cushion and they feel good.
This cool place sent me new shoes and new bedrock socks, though. So really excited for those for the Sierras.
Nice. Bedrock it out. A last blistering question here for you guys. What did you get with your Mickey D's gift cards? And did you feel awful after eating it all?
You first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Mine's the less impressive tally here. With Mickey D's round one, we had a large Sprite, large fry, chicken sandwich, 10-piece nugget, a cinnamon roll, and a slushie.
Each?
That was for me.
Yeah, right. That's what I
Yeah.
assumed. Okay.
Yeah, and I felt wonderful afterwards and went and ate some more food. And then Flapjack has a more impressive tally.
Yes. So I got 60 chicken nuggets, 2 McDoubles, 2 chicken sandwiches, a Sprite. The ice cream machine was broken, so I got a slushie, and then I got a large fry.
And
That
did
was
you
round.
finish it all?
Yes.
Well, you know,
Well, so I packed out 40 chicken nuggets, and the next day I ate 40 chicken nuggets.
What did you just had like a Ziploc or something?
I put them in my Nalgene.
You did?
Yes. I can send that to you.
I need you to send that to me immediately. Well, after this, whatever. Awesome. Well, a thank you to everybody that helped out with the Mickey D gift cards. It sounds like they were well used, well spent. And
We still had some money left over and we used it today. So thank you so much.
I love it. All right, so let's get down to some real trail stuff. Actually, we just covered some stuff that's as real as it gets. The chafing in the sand is a very real thing. But to get serious for a moment, give me some quick stats, guys. Like you're roughly 500 miles in. How many miles in are you? What miles per day? You've got the stats ready. Ben, read them off.
Mile 566.5.
We've been doing about, it averages out with our Neros and zeros to 18 and a half a day. Typically we're doing closer to 22 to 25 most days. In that 566.5, we have 2 zeros. Today's a 0. 4 Neros. We've been on trail for 30 days. In that 30 days, we've taken 5 showers. We'll be in Kennedy Meadows on June 15th, tentatively. We'll be to Tahoe on July 6th, tentatively. We've passed through 3 different national forests, 3 California state parks. I've had 4 Trail Magic beers. We've had 2 20+ mile water carries and 1 free slice of pie.
I had 2 free slices of pie.
He did have 2.
So the Trail Angels have been plenty visible, pretty prevalent there. It sounds like plenty of beers, slices of pie.
Yeah, especially when it comes to water. Trail Angels providing just huge water caches with 60, 80, even like 200 gallons of water. This trail would not be possible without Trail Angels that provide the water. So a huge thank you to those guys. I mean, we've had, even with 20-mile water carries, that relies on there being a cache of water somewhere. And without that cache, it'd be 40, 50, 60 miles between carries sometimes.
Yeah, it'd be some big carries.
I just wonder what the hikers did after you, since you used all the water caches to shower 5 times. What did they do? Okay, so what was the longest day? Did you say the longest day? 30 miles?
28 and a half.
Yeah.
It's huge. Will, what was your longest on the AT?
My longest on the AT was 31 and a half.
Oh.
I want to emphasize that 28 and a half mile day also had about 9,000 feet of elevation gain. So we had a 22 straight mile long climb, like 22 miles of climbing nonstop. Go ahead and pass.
No.
We started at 3:30 a.m. and just, 28 and a half miles, almost entirely uphill.
Ben, was that your longest day?
Yeah.
Not on, ever?
That was, both my longest day on trail so far and my longest day ever. But prior to that, it was 26 miles. But yeah, that was my longest day ever.
A huge day.
We've now done 2 28s. So
yeah.
Looking forward to the first 30.
So they're going to start adding up. Like Ben, you mentioned Kennedy Meadows. What's the significance for everybody listening in at home? Okay, the city that you're in, to
Tehachapi.
Tehachapi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of explain where you're at now, where Kennedy Meadows is, and why that's kind of one of the next big stops that you might be stopping at.
Yeah. So right now we're at 566. This is technically nearing the end of the Mojave. When we leave here tomorrow, we'll climb 3,000 or so feet, and we'll be in the low Sierra. So we'll be in the foot of the Sierra. Kennedy Meadows at mile 702, so about 140 miles from here, is the start of the high Sierra. So leaving Kennedy Meadows, we rise up to 12,000 feet. And from there, the next like 2 weeks, we're pretty much between 9,000 and 13,000 feet for the whole time. So
is it fair to say that like that's where it gets good?
yeah, that like probably Walker Pass, which we'll hit in about 5 days. Walker Pass is really the start of like the pine forest, like the nicer stuff. And then it still takes another 2 or 3 days to like get to pretty secure water. So the Kern River, like right outside of Kennedy Meadows, that's where like the desert, like the hard water stuff kind of calms down. You know, there's still some stuff in NorCal we'll find, but you know, it's not as crazy as the Mojave and all that stuff.
So you only have to hike 700 miles to get to where you want to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
High elevation and water sources, and
Yeah.
not much of a test at all. They're just poking you a little bit, making sure you want to stick with it.
Yep.
I mean, the Sierra is what we really want to, where we want to be. But I mean, to be fair, I mean, the desert's been spectacular in and of itself, and I think we've both enjoyed it a lot more than we thought, and been challenged a lot more than we thought. But the desert has plenty of incredible stuff too.
So if somebody's doing that section, is there a best town that you've been through, best trail angel you'd give a shout out to, or best meal that you've stopped and had?
Well, let's both do the town and trail angel, and we'll,
yeah. My favorite trail town has probably been Idlewild. It's this tiny little mountain town tucked into right around the Mount San Jacinto area. And everything, it's great for a hiker because everything's in walking distance. Great town stop. Best trail angel. Wow. It would have been Mama Bear, who met us beneath Interstate 10, which is normally just a hot desert section, and she met us with cold paper towels, and then snacks, homemade quesadillas, sodas. It was just a spectacular spread until last night. We stayed with 2 trail angels, the wonderful Tim and Amy here in Tehachapi. They picked us up from the trail, let us sleep on the couches in their living room, like plush showers with like multiple shower heads, laundry,
dinner, breakfast.
Yeah, they made us dinner, breakfast, took us to the post office in Walmart. I mean, that's as good as it gets right there, above and beyond. Just so incredibly thankful for, experiences like that. So Flapjack, I'll let you take over.
Yeah. So Trail Town, so far I would say the same. Idlewild was a really cool town just because like you get down into the town and then anywhere you need to go is within walking distance, which is really nice for a hiker. As far as trail angels, I'd say it's a throw up. Amy was definitely like, she's top 3 right now for sure. That was amazing, everything they did for us last night and yesterday. Really like Mama Bear, like he was saying, just like getting done with a long downhill day and like hiking through the desert and then like being surprised with this massive thing going on under the highway was sweet. And then we also ran into another guy, and Julian, his name was Legend, and he was just kind of a character. It didn't like, not so much of like the magic and the things like that, but just like the advice and like the kind of moral kick in the ass he gave us was really nice to, for me to keep me going. So
sounds like what you needed when you needed it, and the trail has a way of doing that, right? Like trail provides.
The trail provides.
The trail provided me with 2 PBRs yesterday when I was about ready to stop walking.
When you don't have water, sponsored by PBR. Yeah, that doesn't look like one. Guys,
it's a tall boy water.
This is we're getting some great feedback. We actually have some call-in questions here, so we're gonna switch gears here for a little bit. Patty Berger from Albuquerque asks, have you thought about going home at all? And that's a good question, Patty. Fellas?
Yeah, I mean, I think you think about going home every day. I mean, you're walking through the heat and you're like, why am I doing this? I could be at home doing what? And then it's kind of like, wait, what would I be doing at home? I think I'd rather be out here. I think I had like one day though where the thought seriously took hold, and I was like, I might get off trail. It was just the feet were hurting and it was hot, and it was just a tough morning mentally for me. But I mean, like the thought of going home like terrified me. It was not something I wanted to do. Like even more so than, you know, being on trail despite the pain and stuff. But I mean, that it passes, and that afternoon I felt a lot better. And since then I haven't really had too much of an issue. And that was, I think, for perspective, like 240 miles in. Yeah, and since then I've been feeling pretty good. I know I'm gonna have those days again. It's a natural cycle, and you just kind of gotta stick it through those days. And
yeah. Yeah. So for me, I've had kind of two big moments where I thought about quitting and giving up. The first one was a quit. The second one was like a skip a little bit. So when we hit Julian about like 80 miles,
77.
yeah, about 80 miles in, I had been having trouble eating in the mornings just because how dry the desert was. We were kicking like 20, 25-ish mile days already. And like my body just wasn't adjusting quickly. And like when we got into Julian and got into town, and just like, I just felt like crap. So definitely had a big moment there where I was like, I don't know if I keep going, but like, you know, got some food in me, got some water, like pulled up the bootstraps and got back to the trail. And then, you know, that evening was a nice evening. Like we did a big climb and felt really good. And after that, it wasn't as bad. And then in Acton, we stayed at a KOA, and that was our first zero. And coming into that zero, my feet were hurting pretty bad. I was actually having some shoe issues where my left ankle was like rubbing against my shoe. So my foot was pronating, and my knee was like feeling a little wobbly. And I haven't like fully recovered from that. Like it still feels a little tight. But I was just kind of like, you know, body wasn't feeling great. And I was just like, you know, I don't really want the desert to take me out if I get injured. Maybe I can just hop to Kennedy Meadows. And just having like that thought, not at that time, like, you know, we were 444 miles in. Like I wasn't thinking about quitting, but I was thinking about like getting the heck out of the desert. So getting here and being in Tehachapi and being as close as we are to, like, in my mind, like a brand new section of trail and environment, like, you know, yeah, I can keep pushing.
It's exciting, you know, and it's a reminder that like what you guys signed up for is no easy task, and what you've done thus far is a huge accomplishment already. And I think when you have those moments, it's also testament to those facts and what you guys are going through. And it's great getting to a new section, and you guys are going to rock it out. And good. It sounds like you guys got your trail legs underneath you.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough out here. I would say if this is a vacation, it's the worst vacation I've ever been on. But it's been a great adventure.
Great.
Yeah.
Best way to sum it up. That was well said. Next question is from Daniel Miller in Lexington. Asks, Osprey packs are the most innovative, durable, and best carrying packs out there. Daniel, that is not in the form of the question. We're going to continue.
Sounds like a sales rep.
Hey, Betsy from Milford asks, William, will you be home for dinner?
Betsy, I love you.
These questions are getting out there. And Wicket in Cincinnati asks, Ben, I pooped in your laundry basket. Guys, we're going to cut off the questions. This isn't going well. If anybody else has some serious questions for Ben and Will while we have them here, go ahead and send them over. Will, or Ben, rather, you're going to have some laundry to do. Back to it. So how would you sum up your PCT experience thus far, guys?
It's been humbling. The trail always humbles you, and the desert has certainly done that. It's been harder than expected, which I knew it would be, but it's also been better than expected. You know, I've thoroughly enjoyed the first nearly 600 miles of it. It's been a fantastic trip. And I think this, you know, so far it's just re-emphasized to me, you know, the natural world that we're hiking through is gorgeous and amazing. And that's the number one reason we're out here, that I'm out there is for that. But it's also, I mean, the trail has so much become about the people and the community that we're with, and the through hiking community, the hikers themselves, the trail angels, the people you meet in towns. That's what really makes this hike special. and that's become such an important part of the hike, and it's gonna, keep us out here through the tough days. And yeah.
Would you say, kind of a follow-up, what have you found to be a surprise on the trail? And then I think I definitely want Ben's take on this one too, since he did so much planning. Like, what are the surprises been? What did you not see coming?
I get some of the things I didn't see coming, I guess, were like some of the changes you make day to day while you're on trail. Like one of the things that like Will and I have kind of done is like when we hit each town and do each resupply, we like think about the next section going out. And like as we've gone on, especially like the past week, we figured out that like we can do more miles than we like expect a lot of the time, just because like we are getting trail legs, we are feeling pretty solid as far as cruising through miles, and then two, like we're just moving fast, and then sometimes like there's better ways to do things when we get out here. So like me having planned a lot of this, like I looked at it through a lens of like, distances, mileages, locations, things like that. But then like when you get out here, you learn or you hear about better ways to do things. So like we originally were like, weren't going to stop in Wrightwood, California and do a resupply there. And we actually ended up stopping in Wrightwood and doing a 2-day resupply to cut some food weight, which was really nice for a big climb. So, just things like that, like just little unexpected things that like when I was looking at it, big picture, it didn't make sense to do it. But then when you get out here and everybody else is doing it, like it becomes really easy to like get to town easier than you thought it would be, It's not, just some of those logistical things that, on the AT, you can walk into a gas station or town pretty easily usually. And out here, it's sometimes like a 10-mile hitch or Uber into town.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Different experience in that way, right? The resources. We do have some real comments. So Callin on Facebook mentioned you could do some big days in Oregon, and his longest day was 43 miles. So something to shoot for. And he said some folks were doing double marathons, and appreciate you guys jumping on today. So thank you, Callin. Also mentioned that, and I like the name of this place. You're in Tehachapi, and he said if you like Thai, go grab some food in Tehachapi.
Yeah, some friends of ours have been telling us about that. There's a lot of hikers that have been going to Tehachapi.
Yeah, popular spot.
There's a pizza place like literally right next door to here, and we think we're gonna hit that up tonight.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Just you'll end up doing them both most likely, so that's all good.
You got to get calories in, right?
Right. All right. So guys, if someone is gonna do a single section of the miles you've done so far, so say in the first 500, 550-ish that you've done, what section would you recommend? Where do you go? What 50 miles do you go out and do, or 75 miles you go out and do?
Oh, the LA Aqueduct is a gorgeous section. I'm kidding. That's not it.
The aqueduct was beautiful though. We got amazingly lucky with the aqueduct. Like we woke up, hit trail by 5 a.m. Sunrise on the aqueduct, overcast day, like temperatures didn't get above like 78, like gorgeous, windy, like probably one of the most lucky days of hiking I've ever had in my life, as far as like expectations meeting reality. And then even like the day afterwards when we went through the Tehachapi wind farm, like beautiful temperatures, great wind. Like we've been really lucky through the Mojave, which is amazing. For me personally, like I had a lot of like worry about like just dying in the Mojave. So
I don't think you can plan on having those temperatures though. So don't plan your section hike around that.
What would you pick as yours?
I would say that section, go to the area around Idlewild, Mount San Jacinto area. It's a tough climb to get up there. But you're hiking at elevation for a little while, so you're up out of like the true desert. So you get pine forest and some gorgeous like high elevation stuff and some gorgeous ridge walks. And the miles challenge you, but it's worthwhile. I
would tell anybody who wants to do like a week and a half, 2-week journey, sometime in like April, May, late April, May, early May. Do I-15 to Deep Creek Hot Springs. You would start low in the desert at the highway, and then you would kind of work your way up in the mountains. You get to go around Big Bear, which is nice dry pine forest, pretty beautiful views. And then you kind of follow some canyons, and you would end your hike at pretty nice hot springs near the Mojave Dam. And that'd be 150-ish miles. Sure, something like that. Probably 100 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's right after 300 and right after 200.
That's a
110 miles.
Good week and a half long hike.
Yeah, it's a good section to do. Thank you.
It's pretty.
A lot of people getting out for a 500 something mile section is going to be pretty hard to do. So I like catching up on those. Hey, you're going out west, check out Idlewild.
Yeah,
that's like a pretty cool place to go. And we'll try to follow up with you guys next time on your thoughts on that as we go up the different sections. So you guys have about 140 miles before another town. We won't count on catching up then, but I'd love if we could catch up again. Maybe it's another 500 miles or somewhere around there. But in the meantime, people can also follow your blog.
Yeah, I've been doing a blog, hopelesswanderer.us, and then you can do /the-PCT or just do hopelesswanderer.us, and it'll take you to it, and you can kind of navigate through. And I've been updating that like for us per section, and then kind of updating some other things as far as like our daily end of day location and stuff like that, so people can keep up. Coming out of Tehachapi, going like up into the Sierras and up into the next couple sections, it'll be harder for us to do some of those like internet check-ins and like things like that, just because cell signal's not that far ahead. But hopefully we can catch up with you around Tahoe. We'll be there just after 4th of July, and we can have another chat.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, there's one other place I wanted to ask about. You guys didn't mention, because I was so from what I've looked at of the beginning of the trail, you guys mentioned a lot of it: the aqueduct, the Mojave, the wind farms, and then did you guys hike through Hikertown?
Yeah. So
super interesting. Tell us what was Hikertown and what was that experience for you guys?
Yeah, so Hikertown was definitely an interesting day. So originally we had planned, we were going to camp like just before Hikertown, and then like come in early in the morning, just siesta for the day, and then hike out and do an evening hike. And everybody who we were like going by and with were like, oh yeah, we're going to Hikertown today. We're going to go out in the morning because the day looks beautiful tomorrow. And we're like, yeah, you're probably right. So we ended up kicking an extra 7 miles. And we went to Hikertown, and it was definitely an interesting place.
What is it for people listening?
So
It's
Hikertown
commune.
it's a commune essentially. It's a fenced in private property. The gentleman who owns it has built up these like Midwesterny looking, like I would call them
Midwestern, like old Western like fronts, and they're basically sheds.
And he's set them up as like little hotel rooms with beds and couches.
It's like an old West movie set. It's like, the sheriff, the doctor's office, the train station, the theater, and each one's its own shed, and it's designed to look like whatever it is.
And they have waters and sodas and showers, and you can pay to stay or cowboy camp, or it's very much a free for all. The one thing that we really appreciated when we got there was the guy who owns Hikertown actually owns the market in Neenak, which is like the town in Mojave, like in the Mojave that it's nearby. So he actually there's a shuttle that runs every like 30 minutes to an hour, just like a van that drives back and forth between there and the market. So like I was super happy because at the end of the day, I got 2 burgers, mozzarella sticks, a Sprite, like a Gatorade, like just a ton of food, which was really nice.
And that's good business for him too, right?
Yeah. So it's a win-win for all of us.
I mean, Hikertown, it's a weird, interesting place.
Yeah.
It's not one of those towns that I would get like vortexed into and want to spend a long time there. I was like, all right,
it was a nice afternoon.
Ready to leave, but great place to spend an afternoon. And
we got live music.
Are there some people that are more like squatting there? Like, is it like that kind of?
No.
We didn't notice any of that kind. So one of the things that I think Hikertown gets a bad rap for is some of the people who like do come in and out of there. On the property, there are like some trailers and some, there are people coming in and out, but our experience with the hikers that we were with and like the people we were with, everybody was super friendly. Like we said, it was very much a free for all. You could kind of, come and go and do as you pleased. But we didn't have any issues with any kind of, odd or weird people for the most part. So
Cool.
it was a very nice place, and it was, it was a good oasis in the desert before the aqueduct.
Right. Yeah, that didn't look like it would have been anyone's favorite section.
No. It was different. It was the most like we covered 24. We covered 24 miles by like 2 p.m.
It's easy miles. It's all flat, but the aqueduct gets kind of boring.
The feet hurt.
You just
you're basically road walking for a while, so the feet hurt, and you're like, I'm kind of ready for something new.
The easier it is, the more it hurts a lot of the time, right? Like, it's flat. And road walking, like, no, it's the last thing I want to do.
Yep. road walking sucks. I think at this point we both rather hike uphill than downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Just less pain on the joints that way.
Sure. So one last thing, guys, I'm going to let you go because I want you to enjoy your 0 day and go eat some food and get plenty of rest. Tell us what other hikers, any interesting hikers that you guys have been hiking with, trail names, any trail names of people you've met or interesting stories behind those trail names, because everyone loves that.
Yeah. I mean,
is it not appropriate? Ben, you've got that look.
Oh, there's
plenty
of appropriate things, and probably some inappropriate.
Who do you want to go for first?
I mean, what's a good one?
I would say sheriff.
Sheriff. Well, sheriff will say for last, I think.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Uni B.
I'm excited.
Oats mustard free water.
The guy named Menace because he's a menace. He just does some crazy things. Thrift shop. She's always going into town and hitting the thrift shop in town. Seems like she changes hiking clothes every week because she finds something near the thrift shop.
Yeah, I almost took her shirt 1 week. It was a nice shirt.
Nice.
She leaves her old clothes in the hiker box at whatever next town she gets to and buys new clothes sometimes.
I love that trail name and that concept. Hey,
yeah.
Almost named her Macklemore, and then it became thrift shop,
which is
that's what you named her.
We didn't.
Oh,
Nanners.
Nanners.
We did name Nanners. He's got a shirt he got in Vietnam, and it's just covered in bananas.
So day 2, we named him Nanners.
Nanners.
Yeah, and he now has matching shorts too. So he's Nanners for sure.
All right, so I need a picture of Nanners because I want to see his outfit, and a picture of chicken nuggets inside of an algae. That's your homework assignment.
Yeah, I have both those. I'll send those as soon as we're done.
I already sent you a picture of Nanners. You have that.
Okay, guys, we'll put these in the comments. Continue following this thread.
Oh, I guess another good trail name, Piss Pot.
I haven't met Piss Pot.
Just doesn't want to know
his tent. Right?
Is it just he pees in his pot in his tent?
No, she burned some like rice or something to the bottom of her brand new pot, and ammonia is a good way to clean it off. So she peed in her pot and let it sit overnight to be able to clean the burnt rice.
I didn't hear this.
Off of her pot, and it worked out very well. And then she washed it well with dish soap and all that kind of stuff. So there's that.
So wow. So who needs camp suds when you have urine?
Yes. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff.
There was somebody being met. Their name was Twister, and their ground sheet for their tent is a twister mat. So that was pretty awesome.
Okay, so do people use it? Do people play Twister? Like, is this a?
Haven't seen it,
they talked about it when we were all having some post-trail drinks one evening, but we didn't actually play Twister.
I'm wondering. Okay, I cannot remember what a Twister mat is made out of. How long is that going to last? And how
it's like a thick plastic.
Okay, But hey, you know what? It's your thing. It's fun. It's memorable. I dig it.
Yeah.
I think best trail name.
Best trail name?
Yeah.
Probably Sheriff.
So why is Sheriff such a good? Because I know I've
So
known.
Sheriff's story.
Do you want the story from the real thing?
Do you want the story from Sheriff? They just walked in the room.
Oh, God, Sheriff's in the room?
Yeah, two of our friends just walked in the room.
If Sheriff, and who else is in the room?
Sheriff and Cinderella. They just wandered in the room.
It's up to them if they could tell an appropriate story.
No.
I don't mind being on video.
I'll share Sheriff's story. So she hikes the first 15 miles in.
Day one.
She's got like a spot or a Garmin Mini to like check in with her parents. Doesn't check in because she's like, it's day one, like they know where I'm at, kind of thing. And there's like 15 other people camped at this place called Hauser Creek, and the sheriff shows up at like 1 a.m. just like calling out, "Cat, where are you? Cat, where are you?" And everybody's like, "It's the desert. There's no cats." And eventually finds her. So they landed on the name Sheriff.
Oh wow! So day one, Sheriff.
You want to jump in here and tell your story?
Parents found a missing
Sheriff.
person.
Come on over next to
Yeah,
me.
you can take my seat, Cinderella.
Cinderella's gonna come tell her story.
Hey, thank you for joining. Hi, how are you?
Good. So yeah, my story, it was in Julian, which was our first town stop after I think 10 days. And you get into town, there's like this overpass where people just pull up and there's like water cached and people ready to give you rides. So I like had just gotten there, and then it was like last minute, someone was ready to give us a ride to town. So I had to quick pack up all my stuff. So I was wearing my Crocs, my town shoes, and my regular shoes were out of the bag. And then, had a great day in town, went to the gear shop, did all this stuff. We were at the brewery for a couple hours. And it wasn't until like 8 or 9 at night where I realized that one of my hiking shoes was gone.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to buy new shoes, all this stuff. Like I had no blisters, like no issues. Like I didn't need to buy new shoes like other people, but I was like, oh, I'm going to have to. And then I went looking for it, and it was like magically left on like a street corner. Like someone saw it and left it for there for me to find that night. So.
Oh, so perfect. Oh, I would have been sweating it. Like you got a good pair of shoes and like just gone. Like no big deal.
Yeah. Like a week or so in, I guess 10 days in. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Cinderella is so fitting. That is awesome.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
I
of
love
course.
trail names.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Well, guys, I'm gonna let you do your thing. I really appreciate you jumping on. If we could catch up near Tahoe or something, I know you're gonna let me know. We're gonna keep up with the blog. We're gonna try to be on time on sending some care packages, and hopefully you guys have gotten everything. I've not been there.
So far, so good. Emma and Olivia have been taking good care of us.
Nice. Well, sweet. Guys, this was fun. As always, I appreciate it. Cinderella, thank you. Sheriff, thank you for the added entertainment as well, and happy hiking to everybody.
Thank you, BJ.
Thanks BJ.
Yep, you got it. Peace out, everybody.
Take care.